Well, I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank everybody for coming on. And for to have a good show today. Got on a little early, just got off work not too long ago, so we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. So, going into our mission statement. The podcast, The Thinking Game, is made by guys based on experiences from Southwest Little Rock. Our mission is to encourage and give insight on how to overcome inner city obstacles and elevate in their life and career. This podcast is for the youth and young adults who needs help on thinking through life obstacles and increase chances of success. Thanks for everybody who's been tuning in again. We appreciate it. And we get ready to go to our first slide. Let me know if you heard this news. It's been kind of circulating. If you live in Little Rock, in any amount of years, you've seen this guy on just about every, either on Little Rock or North Little Rock. Well, let me know in the comments, have you seen this pastor? Because I've seen him everywhere on every on University. He be on University, but this incident he was on JFK. And you always see him out there. God is coming back. God is coming back. And she be out there sometimes when the Muslims be out there passing out newspapers. He be sometimes talking crazy to them sometimes. He is an interesting guy, man. You just have to be out there to see it for yourself. Interesting guy. But according to a news article, police confirmed that Reverend Walker was shot by a 20-year-old Latarius Bush. I think that's how you say his name. Latarius Bush of North Little Rock at the intersection of JFK Boulevard and McCain Boulevard. For nearly 15 years, Reverend Walker has stood in that spot as he preached the gospel to people driving by. So what they said in the news video was he was out there preaching, and he does preach hard. He don't be out there, talking nice and be like Joel Osteen. Hey guys, God is good. We're good. We're all good. Let's just get along. Let's just walk together. He's not like Joel Osteen. He's a little bit different than that. He go a little hard, sometimes you can ride by at the wrong time sometimes, and he'll be saying some outlandish stuff. But they said that the guy tried to take the mic from him. He didn't give him the mic, and I think allegedly the guy pulled out a gun and shot him. And I think he said he went out inside and it came out. So thank God he wasn't killed. He survived and he's recovering, and he showed a great move of forgiveness and compassion. He said even though the guy shot him, he was still offering $5 in a hot meal because he's trying to win souls. So shout out to Reverend Walker. Not easy to do. Somebody shoot you, that's not easy to do. To say I forgive him, and I would offer him money and a meal. Not easy to do, but man, shout out to him for staying positive in a negative situation. And if we can take from that in life, sometimes we have to stay positive in negative situations because it can go left real fast. And I feel bad for that guy too because he's probably gonna go to jail for a while. And because he had no reason to shoot him. He in his head he may have a reason, but in the court of law, it's not gonna be a good enough reason to why he shot a reverend. But that's how the game goes. We talk about this all the time. You got to think before you do stuff. Don't just react. Because he reacted, and now he's going to have to do some time behind that reacting. So let me know in the comments what you think about the situation. Have you ever saw him preaching on the street, JFK or the university section? I know I work at a college, so I always see him when he there. He had one time he had a coffin out there. Another time he had some other stuff, and he always got the either got the bullhorn or he got the microphone with the speaker. But when he be on university, he usually had a bullhorn. And you just see him out there. Come on back to God. Come on back to God. Y'all need to quit playing around and come on back to God. Repent. Repent. But shout out to River Walker, man. I don't even think I got the new dude's name until now. I just always see him out there with the all white on with the robe on. But shout out to him. The next slide. Why summertime intelligence? That's what you gotta have now. Living in the inner city, you got to have it. Why does it seem like more issues and crime happen in the summer? You ever thought about that? Why do it seem like everything, more things, more crazy? It's like it get more crazy in the summertime. I don't know if it's the heat when it get like 90 degrees, it's just hot. Everybody kind of hot and irritated. More people are out of school, so more people kind of out hanging out. Seem like the heat make people more temperate. You be more hot. You lose your temper quicker when you're hot and irritated, maybe. But seems like in the summertime though, it get crazy. You gotta be careful out there. My young people, middle-aged people, even older people out there, especially when you're in the streets, man. It get crazy in the summertime. You gotta be careful. You gotta know how to move, man. And if you can, man, leave the streets alone, man. It ain't worth it. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to defend yourself. And then after you defend yourself, now you got to defend yourself in court. And it's harder to defend yourself in court than it is to defend yourself on the street. It's very hard. It costs a lot of money. If you want to get a good lawyer, it costs a lot of money. You could almost spend a year's salary for the average person on a lawyer to defend you. And then if they drag the case out to like 2 or 3 years, do you have the money to pay for 2 or 3 years for a defense? So, summertime intelligence, man, you gotta be able to stay out the way. That's what the cops say. Stay out the way, man. Some people want to get in the way. If you want to get in the way, just take what comes with getting in the way. But just know, they're not gonna play with you though. In the courtroom, they're not gonna play with you at all. So, subtopic to this is how tough is it to remain neutral living in the inner city? One thing about sometimes being in the streets is a lot of people want you to pick a side. You know, sometimes it could happen indirectly. Where you from, at? You know, some they see you hanging with they see you around a group of people, and they automatically associate you with those group of people. You know, you could be hanging out with some dudes on John Burrell. You just happen to stop by there for 5 minutes and say what's up. And now people associate you with John Burrell because you just over there hanging out just saying what's up. Because you saw somebody that you knew from high school. Or being in the Southwest, you know, different spots, you know. You get associated with them. I know if you know, being down at the detail shop, you get associated. You down there, your car down there. They see you riding with them, so they're going to automatically associate you with sometimes where you at. Being able to not get involved in stuff when things are happening and they say you gotta come too. No, I don't. I don't gotta come. I'm out of that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't want jail time. I'm weak. I'm sorry. All that. I don't want to do jail time. One thing I think that made me, I want to say, how can I say this? The best thing that made me understand how to stay out the way is I wasn't able to watch it live, but my mom recorded it for me one time. I had to go to work because I was working in high school. She recorded Scared Straight. I didn't go to a Scared Straight in real life, but I saw the recording. And that was all I needed to see. I didn't want to see nothing else. And I made up my mind right then that there is nothing somebody could tell me or gas me up to do that could get me to go to jail. If I go to jail, it's going to be on my own contrition, on my own decision. But nobody's going to gas me up to do something crazy or, go do something or say go kill somebody, go rob a bank or something crazy. Even though that sounds extreme, but it happens a lot more than what you think. People get gassed up. They want to be accepted. They don't want to be ostracized. They want to be a part of the crowd. But when the crowd go do stuff like that, you got to make up your mind where you stand. And I stood like I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? You can talk about me. You can say whatever you want, but my freedom is so important. Don't ever give up your freedom for something meaningless or something crazy. You know what I'm saying? Um, so, because you talking about robbing the bank, man. If you go to school and if you get a specialized skill when you go to school, let's say if you go be a lawyer, you will make probably what most dudes get when they rob a bank. You'll make that probably in a couple months, if no problem. You become an attorney, pass the bar, become an attorney. You're gonna make that. You become a pharmacist, you're gonna make that. You can work in IT and you can make that. You work in IT, get your degree, get you about 5 to 8 years experience. Preferably, they probably want like 5 to 10. You'll be making that money in no time, easy. That's why it's important to do it while you're young, while you got the time, the will, and the energy. But yeah, staying neutral is a tough thing because most in the streets, like say when you're dealing with friends and stuff, people want you to take sides, and sometimes you don't know the whole story. Some people want you to take their side, then you find out later there was a lunatic. Like you wanted me to take your side, but you're out here like Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? Out here being a serial killer, but you want me to take. I don't get it. I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's kind of how the game go. You got to be able to navigate through those things, and you got to be able to stand for who you are as an individual, because you have to understand at the end of the day, when it all comes down to it, it's all you have to be accountable for you. And when you understand that, it makes you look at life different. It makes you handle things different. It makes your no's absolute, and it makes your yes absolute. And you pick and choose when to use those yes and no's. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting involved with something if I even think that it could be illegal, I'm good. I don't want nothing to do with it. Because when you do stuff that's illegal, it may not get you right then. Usually it comes back and bites you. You know what I'm saying? So, and believe me, I've made many a mistake. So, would never come on here and talk like I never made a mistake. I'm telling you, a person that made a lot of mistakes, be smarter with your choices. And think about this. I really want you to think about this. How many times do you think I had to bump my head and make mistakes to be able to come and tell you, don't bump your head and make mistakes? I want you to think about that. Because believe me, I made a lot of them. And I'm telling you, you don't have to make a lot of mistakes. If you really slow down and think about what you're doing and measure twice and cut once. Measure twice and cut once. Remember that. So, to pick one, we're going to have a couple of these throughout the show. Talking about the summertime, crazy stuff. Pick one. Dead presidents or set it off? Which one you taking? Dead presidents or set it off? When I think about both of these movies, both great script writing, great movies, um, depends on what area you grew up in, or I know Set It Off was crazy. I mean, that movie was made a bunch of waves when it came out. I think they almost tried to ban that movie at one point. They made it bigger at that point. Dead Presidents was a good movie. I liked it, Dead Presidents, because it had the diversity of characters in it with Chris Tucker and stuff. Jay, what's going on, baby?
What's going on? I'm sorry, I'm late. I got the link
No,
late.
no, you good. You good. You good. Which one? If you had to pick one, man, which one? Dead Presidents or Set It Off?
It's hard to go against that cast of strong talented black women. Good story. It's unique because of seeing that from a woman's perspective, the struggles with the single mother, sisterhood and unity. And they were black as well. It makes you look at the story from a unique angle and things like that. Because you expect men to go out in a blaze of glory and things like that and be hard. And you don't expect that from women. But their unique circumstances made it a really deep movie. Not so superficial as a bank robber movie. But I got to go with Dead Presidents. Entertainment-wise, and the look, the view from a veteran. You come back, you go to war as a black man, you come back to these opportunities. You did the right thing. You didn't sell drugs. You served your country. You did what you're supposed to do. And you had to kill men for your country. And to not be looked at as a man by your wife, baby mama, and not feel like you're doing enough, really felt trapped by society. And you have this unique skill set, and how everything fell into place. I like Dead Presidents as a movie myself.
Yeah, I did too. I was about to say, because it seemed like Dead Presidents kind of was low budget. It was in the movie, but it wasn't really pushed. Like, Set It Off was crazy. I mean, didn't they try to ban that movie at one time? We was in junior high, something like that.
Yeah, it was controversy around.
And it made it sell. But yeah, Dead Presidents, man. I guess, like I say, man, because the way the storyline was of Dead Presidents was I know a lot of them got killed, and what's his name got away, but how they ended up on Dead Presidents was crazy. The Preacher Boy snitched. Chris Tucker character was crazy in that movie, man. he had the overdose. I think they thought he was in there watching TV, but he OD'd or something like that at the end or something like that.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing about it. You know what I mean? It showed coming back home, being addicted to drugs, post-traumatic stress. They
didn't even know he was on heroin. He was hiding it, right? They didn't even know he was on heroin. He was hiding it, right?
Yeah,
he was hiding it.
And the things with being, separated from your wife, baby mama, things not going to plan.
Lollipop, was it?
Two phases of the movie. The war side, you know what I mean? It's like before they went to war. And being going to war was a whole different movie. Being coming back, you know what I mean? They made it really.
What was crazy? The craziest dude is the one that snitched on everybody. With the Preacher Boy, did he cut somebody's head off in Vietnam?
Yeah, he was collecting ears. He was collecting ears and fingers. He had a whole person's head in his backpack. You know what I mean? But then when he and that's the thing right now. I've seen people in my neighborhood be the hardest thing on earth in the street with a pistol. But then when they get across from that man with the badge in that room, they tell everything they ever knew. Man, you know what I mean?
Being there singing, boy, being there singing, boy, man.
Got a new song for you, Papa.
So, man, did you hear about the pastor that got shot? The street pastor that was preaching, man? I know you just came on, man.
Yeah, man. I didn't hear a lot about it. You know what I mean? But
I just seen on the news. But
people, it's another senseless crime. People will get in a mode and they're irritated by it. One thing could set them off. You know what I mean? And if you're in a place where man of God is preaching the gospel and it sets you off, something. It's always deeper than what we see, but that's crazy.
Sure. That's what I was saying earlier. You gotta be careful how you react, man, because he may have felt like what he did was justified, but justifying that in the courtroom, that ain't gonna happen. Good luck.
Yeah. Like you always say, it's all about emotions. You have to control stuff. You know what I mean? And stuff happens to you. You know what I mean? Even the bad stuff that you think is happening to you, it's orchestrated by God as well. And losing something or losing an argument or losing respect Could be a humbling experience. Could you be to teach you to have understanding for others. You don't never know the bigger lesson. And if you get stuck on what you lost or trying to get that back, sometimes you can't get back respect. You know what I mean? And how much respect weight? How much respect costs? You know what I mean? You can't put a price tag on it. You can't sell it. It's like love too.
Boy,
you know what I mean? So,
for real. So our next slide is getting ready for post-education for those people who are going to a trade. When you graduate high school, a lot of kids graduating now. And I was like, what's the level of focus does a person need after high school to get ready for the journey of post-education? Because you don't have counselors and stuff. Like college is a little more loose. They're a little more laid back than high school, you know what I'm saying? You're almost kind of on your own. I mean, if you really think about it, you kind of on your own because it's so spaced out. The counselor's office might be across campus. Seems like you got to run a 5K to get to the counselor's office, you know what I'm saying? In college, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
And I know like how handling business. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I know how your takes on it because we spoke about this many times. And I didn't see the use of it because I knew what I was going to college for at the time when I first got in.
Yeah, I say that too. Yeah, I didn't understand it either. Yeah,
a lot of times, you don't know how hard the things the plan that you have in your head is going to be, how realistic it is, or how easier that could be. So, and I was frustrated, didn't understand. Hey, why do they want? I'm going to school for this. Why do I need to see an advisor? Because they're more experienced. They know the classes. They know the workload. They know what's realistic and what's unrealistic. So I think the first time I went to Pulaski Tech, it was mandatory to sit down and speak with an advisor, or they call them counselors in high school, but an advisor. This is the way, the quickest way to get to where you're going. These people don't have nothing to gain by telling you something wrong, but you have to be humble enough. They're trying to help you kind of get to your dream, and you don't know. You're ignorant to a lot of things, so it's really, I would say to a young kid, you don't know where you want to go. You think you know, and you don't know.
When I first started, when I first started going to college, I just let the advisor kind of just went through the motions just so I can get it done. But once I seen that I could pick my own classes, that kind of just the light bulb came on. Like, do I really got to come to them for everything? Probably not. And that's why I say when I went to school for IT, I did it backwards. I did all of the main classes, the degree classes, like the IT classes first, then the core classes last. Because I was thinking, if I do all the core classes first, then I find a job, I can use that as a selling point to find a job, and then take the core classes at night because those are more flexible, like English and stuff like that. You can take those almost any time of the day. But the core classes, you almost got to take those during the day. It ain't a lot of flexibility in those, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it's all about how you cut it though, because the really advisors, they don't even really get paid that much. You know what I'm saying? Like they really just telling you what classes to take. But
if their expertise in hours, in credit hours, and what goes with what, you think you just got to take one A&P class for this, but they absolutely know. Like when you first said it, you have to take two. And you said, I'm going to take this class at this time, but the science wing is over here, and then the math or the English wing is right over here. You will not be able to make it. They don't have to be experts or well-educated or well-paid. They just have more knowledge than you at that point. Senior you and freshman you are different people.
Yeah, I think the difference between going to Euler and going to Pulaski Tech, when I went to Pulaski Tech, they had like generic advisors, like a generic advisor. Like you go to an advising office, they're not tied to any departments. But at Euler, the teachers, it's a specific teacher that actually advise you on your major, and I thought that was pretty different. That was pretty cool. Because the dude I had the web dev that I took web development with, he kind of told me what classes I can. Because you know me, I go off the rails quick. Oh, y'all let me take business classes? I'll take those instead of taking it. He's like, nah, you can't do that, man. You got to take some IT classes.
And that was pretty cool. Building a transcript that doesn't serve a major. That doesn't get you close. You're taking classes that don't progress. You're taking classes that on the same level, and you're not
see, the advisor, if you're not careful, if you don't do your research before you go in there, you're not careful, some advisor can guide you to a degree that don't go towards a major. Hey, you can just get a degree in liberal arts. What is that? They told me that. What is that?
And a lot of times, advisors get a blame on that. But that's your end. They really going on what you're trying to do. So your indecision, they can't make the decision for you.
Exactly. Is that mine? But yeah, definitely, guys. Wait till you come back.
I'm sorry, my internet is messing up a little bit.
You good.
But
you good.
When you you got to think of a place like Pulaski Tech or junior college, they don't really have majors unless you're going into a trade field, right? So they're really giving you basic or generic majors depending on your stats for whatever major degree you're going in. So that's their lane. They're doing the things that they're supposed to do, getting you a degree in art because they got the most general and the most broad-reaching. What's that called? Prerequisite.
What's that?
You can get into more things with this art. You know what I mean? Mine is in science, so my associate's degree is very heavy in science courses. You know what I mean? Things like that. So junior college or your first 2 years, they're going to advise you differently. Now, when you get into your major, you say, "Hey, I want to be in business management." You'll get a business management advisor, and they'll direct you to be a little bit sharper and precise on what you're doing. The more you know and the more focused you are on your goal or what you want from this college or trade school, the more the advisor can help you get to that. But if you're like, I think I want to do this, and I think I want to do that. So
I think what helped me is by the time I went to school, I knew about myself. I knew like what I was good at, what I wasn't good at, what I was interested in, what I wasn't interested in. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of helps a lot, knowing yourself. If you don't know yourself, you can get sold anything if you don't know yourself.
Yeah, because you see, all my friends or all these guys, they look pretty cool and they look smart, and they're going in this degree field. Right. And then you meet these people, and you start going to that degree field. And then you meet another somebody the next year. Then you want to change your majors a lot, and that wastes a whole lot of your time being indecisive. And a lot of people don't think about this. Like Mike's, we're always talking about the advantages of choosing young and getting focused, knowing your plan and executing it. But the advantages of Michael going to school later, he knew himself and he knew exactly what he wanted to do. Right. So he was less indecisive or decisive when he was picking his classes for his major.
Yeah, I think the next episode I'm gonna talk about the Uzi not twin, like what it's like getting your own place and stuff. I think I'm gonna talk about that next episode. Talk about the reason why I didn't think about school. It's gonna be funny. It'll probably mess you up. So thinking about being indecisive, think about the pick one: MC Hammer pants or Purple Rain shirt.
That's a they both took the fashion world the country by storm. I think MC Hammer had us acting more out of character. You got thugs in the streets wearing pants with zippers on them and things like that. I think Prince was always a kind of niche group.
Man, dude had a lot of dudes doing that,
Prince shirts, you know what I mean?
He had a lot of dudes doing that androgynous. They didn't have the Prince shirt. That's their best version of it. It's like a $20,000 androgynous making $20,000 a year. It's a different kind of, but they was doing it though. You got to think this is probably before we was even born. Back in the '80s, it was dudes doing it, man. '80s, man. Wearing eyeliner, man.
But those looks were very unique to the time.
Yes.
So.
People still sag in their pants now, though. I mean, MC Hammer.
But it's like not like sagging. I mean, those are those pants are on his waist. They just baggy with a little extra room. And you got to think about how influential MC Hammer was. This is the gang banging time where gangbanging was really prevalent. Crack.
They said MC Hammer was a gangster though. They said he wasn't no joke either though. He from Oakland, man. They said he wasn't no joke.
Banging the Little Rock crack epidemic. Oh, and this man is out there dancing and making
typewriter.
Black men, black youth wear bright purple pants or red, orange pants, having zigzags in their haircuts and stuff like that, where everybody's trying to be hard or be blood, crip, or whatever, and he's making them do that. And we really, if rap would have taken that, would have stayed on that track, how harmonious we would kind of be.
MC Hammer did that. Remember, before he got out, MC Hammer was on death row, man. Before he stopped rapping, he couldn't even stay on that path.
Hey, but you gotta read the room. Like gangster rap was everything. NWA took over. Nobody was there no more. Only black artist that survived that gangster rap without being a thug or over sexualized was Michael Jackson. You know what I mean? It was still cool for Michael to dance, but nobody else could dance. Prince, did his thing kind of more. Older people kind of graduated to R&B. He was a more mature sound. I'm gonna say older, but everything was in the 90s at that time was gangster rap, and kind of grew over MC Hammer, and it just became so trendy.
You know what MC Hammer should have did? MC Hammer, he would have been rich if he would have came out with a workout tape that he could sell over and over when he was at his biggest. Like Richard Simmons, the MC Hammer workout tape or something.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right.
You think dude would have made so
Billy
much
White
money?
Made a lot of money with the Tabo thing, because you got to think about it. He would still be making money now because the Zumba craze came in the early 2000s. Everybody wanted to do the little Caribbean dance, and women was dancing to music. So Zumba was a really big in the 2000s, 2000 teens. So he could have definitely had a place with that.
Okay.
But I don't like, one disc record of Kid, you know what I mean? Ice Cube started talking about the man, and it's just like he lost kind of all credibility, or like they took his fans almost.
It just depends on how hard you come back, because like say Dr. Dre and Eazy-E did, it didn't kill. It just helped both of them. It didn't kill neither one of their careers.
But it killed the style. It made fun of the style of rap he was doing.
Like Biggie Smalls, when he killed Kwame, bro. And it was a sentence.
Yeah, so like
you played out like Kwame and Polka Dots, and it killed this kid. Done. Just like that.
Exactly. So like if you have family friendly, no cussing, happy party style dance. Matter of fact, Kid and Play was a casualty of the style of rap that MC Hammer did. Rappers like Kid and Play, MC Hammer was all of a sudden not cool. Everybody was doing house party dances. Everybody was doing that. Everybody dressed in bright clothes and stuff like that. MC Hammer came along, and it was just thriving. Then gangster rap came out, and none of that.
Talk about that one time how he changed the game. I mean, gangsters was bumping MC Hammer. I mean, they even had the Hammer rims. Remember Deep Dish Hammers? He made them rims popular. They weren't even tied to him. Dude.
Exactly.
15 by 15, them wide rims on your truck, man. You can barely turn, man.
You go like a year, 2 years, everybody's bumping MC Hammer. His videos was on, kids doing the dance. Yeah. He had a cartoon, action figures, and things like that. One well.
Paul Mooney messed him up too, though.
But it was too easy. In hindsight, it's too easy to make jokes about him. But guess what? They made jokes about Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson still Michael Jackson. Hammer couldn't come back. Kid and Play couldn't come back.
I think Hammer, what messed Hammer up was he helped so many people. He put money in so many people's hands, and it wasn't reciprocating back.
Now you're talking about him going broke or not being on the level that he was. That played a part in his finances. But helping people out don't kill your popularity or your style of music.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, the time changed. Yeah,
and and things like that. So money and different things. And he tried to adapt because he was a real gangster and showed that, but people didn't accept that from him. When they can play a video of you dancing in parachute pants and things like
Yeah.
that. You know.
So our next topic is this is for the kids out there. We probably represent both sides of the spectrum of corporate intelligence. Like working one job for a long time or working many jobs. What's the pros and cons? I know I've worked many jobs. I mean, I probably well, if I had put my whole resume, man, it'd probably be like maybe 3 or 4 pages or stuff, man. It'd be pretty crazy. Well, what you think the pros and cons of working one job or working many jobs?
You think pros of working on one job. You can go up and move up in the company. You have loyalty. You know everybody. You're familiar with the ins and out of the company. It should be a really good network for you because you know the CEO to the janitor. You know what I mean. You're a part of the place. You make yourself a necessity or a priority in the company. They can't live without you. You know what I mean. And they pay you like that. Early retirement. You know, you get a job at 17, 18, you stay there 40, 38, you can retire, pension, you know what I mean? You retire your first job 40, 38 in your 30s. You know what I mean? That's the thing.
That's true.
But disadvantage of that, limited room for growth sometimes. You get comfortable or they don't allow you. They see you where they see you. You know what I mean? That's mail room Mike. Mike will always be in a real mail room. I can't let Mike lead me because he started before me. Even when you do get education, and the education is essential to growth. In any, even if you stay at the same job, learning new skills around the job, it could be a way, but they don't have to pay you for getting those new skills. Right. When I cross trained and I also know how to do this and I know how to do that. I can run the video camera and I can run the editing room and I can be behind the camera and report. But we don't want you to do that. You know, it's good that you know that, but we're not going to pay you for it. So they ask you to do the things you know how to do. Hey, could you run the camera today, Mike? Well, you know, I'm working the editing room, but you know how to do it, but they didn't pay you for that. And because, you know, that's all Mike will do anything for the team. We appreciate your loyalty, but we're not going to pay for it. And that's one of the advantages working at one place for a long time, and then some of the disadvantages as well. Now, going job to job. Advantages, the disadvantage of working on a job for a long time. Sometimes when the pay goes up, new hires get paid more than you, right? And they don't pay you for your experience. Working new jobs, every now and then, you get to test the job market. You usually get to demand your pay. You're not like, if you don't want to pay, if you don't like it, go apply somewhere else. You don't care. You're not married to this situation. You're not married to this job. When the growth stops, you move to another company. You're not staying loyal to somebody that's not paying you or treating you as such. So, you know, you learn a lot more skills and you really figure out what you want. Because I worked in film, I worked in finance, I worked in a hospital. I really know what I want to do. And I've got experience in those things. I got experience in customer service. It gives you a realistic look at the work world and what you really want to do. You can pick now. You know what I mean? You're not scared to lose a job. You know what I mean? Because you know some are out there. Disadvantages to that. You only worked a job for 2 to 5 years. Retiring from a company with their retirement or drawing a pension, probably out of the question. Are probably going to retire later when you actually pick your career. You know what I mean? On their retirement. Now, if you're investing in yourself, that's fine too. A lot of companies, you get more benefits the longer you work there. But you know, that's just some of the few things that I can speak on offhand.
Yeah, I know for me, I work many jobs, so I can only speak from that probably standpoint. I think what what really messed my brain up is if they say that if you don't speak up, you know, they won't do that. But you find out if you do speak up, that could hurt you as well. Um, and here's the thing, right? It's one thing like understanding the career field that you in, even if it's a career. Like before I worked in IT, I was doing jobs that were like jobs. They wasn't a career. You know what I'm saying? Working at the airport, driving shuttles. That's not a career. That's just a job. Working at the hospital as a lab courier, even though that's a career place, but it wasn't a career what I was doing. It was a job. And when you go from job to job, you start to lose the fear of I don't know, that sounds like a bad thing, but to me it was a good thing. You lose the fear of if I was to start somewhere else, how would I pan out? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can stay at one job for so long, you don't want to go to a new job because you like I don't know how I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna fare out. I don't know if I can do that. But you
I
start to
don't want to
learn that
start
it's a
over
pattern.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, you start learning a pattern. Like most jobs, it's the same kind of stuff, especially if you're in the career field. You just have to learn the way they want you to do it. You know what I'm saying? And what you starting to find out now, what I found out as I start getting older is a lot of companies know, depending on what field you in, they know that you're not gonna stay there for a long time because they know some places can't afford to pay you for loyalty or to stay there that long. So they'll come and recruit you. Like, hey, if you making 55, we'll give you 75. Um, if you comfortable, you like, nah, I'm gonna stay at 55. If you got a mind like me, you like an NBA. Hey, this is my third year. I'm gonna take the player option. Let me give me the 75. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about how you cut that orange. You know what I'm saying? So
But when you
sometimes,
realize
go ahead.
that ain't no like really real benefit to being loyal to a company. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly. Yeah,
if it
but
was
some
an
people think
NBA
it is though.
team, if it was your
Yeah,
friend, it ain't really like you're gonna get retirement, but it's not gonna be a retirement bonus. You're gonna get 60% of your income, you know what I mean, or whatever your 401k is. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
it's,
you know, the goal for
yeah,
that 75 from 55 to 75, you know what I mean? Once you work multiple jobs, you're not afraid to quit or start over, especially for more resources.
yeah, for sure. And then the last thing I think I say before we move on is being able to gain skills from each job that you wouldn't get at another job and kind of like add to your tool belt. One job you might learn how to use the hammer, another job you may learn how to use a screwdriver or the power drill, another job you may learn how to put it all together. Every job has unique skills if you paying attention that you can get from that each job. So when you go to the next job or they interview you, if you can tell them that you worked there for this amount of time, but I learned this, and this, and I stayed within my parameters of what I was allowed to learn, that makes a difference. Because if you got a story to why you did it or a method to your madness, companies like that. If you just did it just to be doing it, it won't sound good. You got to be able to sell the dream. You know what I'm saying? But I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, man, it really paint the picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
a resume, this job here and this job here makes you seem unstable. But if you
Yeah,
paint the picture, make it all come together,
yeah.
make it seem that it was a part of your plan, it's like, man, this guy's a genius.
So what do you think? Pick one: Bad Boys franchise or Equalizer franchise?
That's hard. You know, I personally
Yeah, I
like
know.
Denzel
I
and
couldn't find no other
Ethan.
duo. You know what's hard? I tried to find a black duo. I couldn't find another black duo, bro. Like action movie. I
Mm.
couldn't. Like they did 3 or 4 movies. I couldn't find one. I tried to look for it. I couldn't find it. I was
Oh
like,
well, I mean,
dang.
well, not action movies. Sean and Marlon Williams did a lot of movies.
No, I'm talking about like action movies though.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know, so
yeah.
but
Because Bad Boys was cool. I like
but
Equalizer too, though, man.
But
Oh
I
man.
but I'm going with Bad Boys. But they like the pair of whites and blacks. You know what I mean? Ebony Ivory. You know what I mean? Like uh, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson and things like that.
Yeah,
You know, stuff
yeah,
like. But
yeah.
I gotta
Lethal
go with
Weapon.
Bad
Yeah,
Boys. The
yeah,
the action and comedy mix,
exactly.
the relatable characters. Equalizer is a movie that you like the character, but a lot of times you can't relate to his skill set. You know what I mean? Not that you can relate to like Will Smith's skill set, but you can relate to their lifestyle. I can't relate to Denzel Washington's simplest lifestyle in every movie. He's not really emotional guy, and not a really guy you connect to, but I definitely like how he handled business. And it's a really good movie, Mysterious Past. But Bad Boys is all like sometimes. You see the family, you know what I mean? Yeah. If they don't remind you of somebody you know or yourself, somebody in their families does.
My wife said I act like the Equalizer sometimes. I can see that, but I'm pretty crazy. Like they just do the same
stuff. You're
put the keys in the same place.
Yeah, you're a minimalist. You know what I mean? You don't really require a lot of stuff. You know, you stay in your lane and do the thing until you're pushed. You got a certain no nonsense level about yourself. So I can see that.
Before we end on this verse of the day, real life application. Anybody can use this. We say Proverbs 18:15, the New Century Version. The mind of a person with understanding gets knowledge. The wise person listens to learn more. That verse make sense?
Perfect sense.
I had to learn this when I was younger. Listen to learn more. That will take you so much further than, I guess, take you further in life. Just listen and learn, because sometimes you can learn from some other people's scenarios and what they went through, and make better decisions as you get older. You know what I'm saying? And reference it. So
and knowing stuff, or seeing stuff, or being exposed to stuff doesn't give you knowledge. Understanding that stuff you're exposed to, understanding your circumstances, and understanding what's being said or presented to you, gives you that knowledge. Information without understanding maybe it could be Hebrew to you. You know what I mean? You have all these resources, but no means to understand it because you're not receptive, or you're stuck behind your own beliefs. You can't accept new knowledge. So without understanding, it's impossible to gain knowledge.
Yeah. So last slide before we get up at this thing. West Side Connection or Mobb Deep?
I like Mobb Deep beats. Their smooth delivery, love that. But I can't go against West Side Connections.
It depends on what some dudes we grew up with. Like they like the East Coast more. I know I listen to West Side Connection way more than.
I mean, it's a little more sleek, subtle, smoother. But when you can see Ice Cube really go back to the gangster rap with them, and Mac 10 and Dub C. Mac 10 had a lighter, smoother flow and delivery. With Ice Cube's rhyming, and Dub C, his presence. And what he say, his cadence of the way he raps and stuff like that, unmatched. I'm gonna give the dub to them.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for hitting that subscribe button. Shout out to everybody who's been supporting us. Shout out to everybody who, I think we had 200 and some subscribers on YouTube right now. Go to the YouTube channel, hit subscribe. Go to Facebook, follow us, help us grow, help us reach. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, bro?
Nah, thanks a lot for all the subscribers. Thanks for liking, thanks for watching, thanks for sharing. We really appreciate it.
All right, guys, we are signing out.
Good. Mm-hmm. Good and terrible.
All right, guys, we out.